cause shall have a share in the blessing of that good cause. And whoever supports, aligns himself or herself, aids and abets a bad cause, shall be held accountable and answerable for their part in involvement with that bad or that evil thing. Indeed, Allah is ever observant of everything. In Islamic history, we can draw a practical example of what this ayah refers to, of those who align themselves with good, and of course, those who oppose the good and align themselves and chose to follow the opposite of that good and follow the wrong cause. On the one hand, you have Abu Lahab, the blood uncle of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Abu Lahab was highly revered in his time among the respected tribe of the Quraysh in Mecca. He was considered the most noble of people in terms of lineage. But this lineage, this noble, in fact, no family of the Prophet, no relation of the Prophet, not even Meccan, not even Arab. In fact, Bilal, a man from a foreign land of Abyssinia, what is now Ethiopia, who was enslaved in Mecca, he aligned himself with the message of the Prophet ﷺ, was tortured because of his belief by his master Umayyah bin Khalaf, who by the way was the friend of the Prophet's uncle Abu Lahab. Sayyidina Bilal, unlike Abu Lahab, stood by the truth and in fact accompanied the Prophet ﷺ on every expedition the Prophet went on. Every expedition Bilal was by the side of the Prophet, and he never at any time dissociated himself from what was good, what was right, or from the message of the truth. So here we see power of association. Abu Lahab, blood relative of the Prophet, yet dissociated from the message of the Prophet. And what does Allah say about him? Tabbat yada abi lahabi wa tab. He is disdained by Allah by name in the Quran. On the other hand, we have Bilal, the mu'adhin of Islam. When the Prophet led the prayer, he was the one who called the people to that prayer of the Prophet. The one who, when the Prophet eventually entered Mecca, the historians document, and all the Quraysh were looking there, and here comes Rasulullah with two people on his side. And on his side, ثُمَّ رَأَيْنَا الرَّسُولِ يَدْخُلُ الْمَكَّةَ فَوْزًا وَعَنْ يَمِينِهِ بِلَالٍ وَعَنْ يَسَارِهِ Usama bin Zayd. And when the Prophet entered Mecca, they watched in astonishment and amazement. And as he entered victoriously, on one side was Usama bin Zayd, on the other side was Bilal ibn Rabah. Can you imagine the scene of these haughty Quraysh witnessing this once slave who chose to stand with their nephew, and then he was the one who stood on the Prophet's shoulders and broke down the idols which Abu Lahab worshipped. And the Rasul said, قُلْ جَاءَ الْحَقُّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلُ إِنَّ الْبَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُوقًا. You have to imagine the scene to be able to appreciate the reality. In fact, Bilal in that way reenacted the act of the Prophet's forefather Ibrahim, the idol breaker. The point is, Bilal chose the side of goodness and truth. And because of the power of association with goodness, Sayyidina Bilal rose from humiliation to elevation, from humility to true nobility. We say Sayyidina Bilal, and by the way, there are people who say you can't say Sayyidina Bilal. I just want to put that at rest once and for all, because people come with all nonsensical issues. You can't say Sayyidina Rasulullah, you can't say Sayyidina Bilal. For once and for all, let me terminate this. Sahih al-Bukhari. Sahih al-Bukhari. كان عمر يقول أبو بكر سيدنا وأعتق سيدنا يعني بلال. Sahih al-Bukhari, Kitab Fadail al-Sahaba. Sayyidina Umar said, Abu Bakr, our master, the emancipator of slave, emancipated our Sayyid, Sayyiduna Bilal, who's our master in nobility. Sayyid is used by the Sahaba for Sahaba. So this is in Bukhari, by the way. This notion you can't use the word Sayyid for the Prophet or for any personal respect is totally nonsensical. I hope it is, by the way, so once and for all, we don't bring up that point again. But from all of this, we realize the significance of association, of aligning yourself with what is good. And we find A beautiful example in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala very often speaks about water. So many ayats about water, this liquid of life. And I think it's appropriate to use وَيُنَزِّلُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً. Allah sends down rain from the sky. Let us consider the raindrop from the sky as an example to illustrate the power of positive association. If a raindrop is caught in the hand, it is pure enough for purification of the self. Before Salah, this sacred act which we do to purify ourselves, that raindrop falling into our hand is a means of purification, and it is sufficient for sustenance to break our fast and to drink and sustain ourselves. If that same drop of water had to fall in a dirty gutter, that water is not worthy of washing your feet. One, to break your fast is good enough and to cleanse you. The other one, not worthy enough of washing your feet. If it falls on a hot, appears like a diamond, and if the drop of water falls in an oyster, it can become a pearl. The drop is the same, but its existence and its worth depends on what and with what it associates itself. That is the power of a positive association. 3 points we can glean from the lessons of today. One, though Abu Lahab was blood relation of the Prophet, he had family connection at the highest level, closest level with the Prophet. He chose to totally dissociate himself from the Prophet. And that's why in Sahih Muslim the Rasul said, "Man batta'a bihi amalu, lam yusri' bihi nasab." If your bad deeds and your bad choices hold you back, your nobility will not help you to go forward. Number 2, وَلَا تَسْتَوِي الْحَسَنَةُ وَلَا السَّيِّئَةُ. Realize the side of good can never be equated to bad. You know, in fact, today there was a recital, قُلْ لَا يَسْتَوِي الْخَبِيثُ وَالطَّيِّبُ وَلَوْ أَعْجَبَكَ كَثْرَةُ الْخَبِيثِ, in the recitation, in the last 2 rakats. That never can evil and filth and impurity be equated to purity and goodness. Though the preponderance of negativity, the preponderance of evil may seem attractive to you, but it can never be equal. So, you say, وَلَا تَسْتَوِي الْحَسَنَةُ وَلَا السَّيِّئَةُ. Never can good and bad be the same. They are distinct from one another. And finally, the primary lesson of the power of positive association is always be associated with what is good, because هَلْ جَزَاءُ الْإِحْسَانِ إِلَّا الْإِحْسَانِ. The consequence of goodness is nothing else but goodness. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.